Planes. Planes! Can you fly a plane? No? Give it a go! Stop! Before we talk about the metal birds, we need to talk about two very special meaty birds. Let me set the scene. Ancient Greece, the land of myths, legends, and vast quantities of hummus. But amidst the stories and gods and heroes, there's one tale that soars above the rest. The legend of Icarus. Our story begins with Daedalus, the master craftsman, and his son, Icarus.
My body is ready for this!
Trapped in the labyrinth of King Minos of Crete, they yearned for freedom. But how to escape? Daedalus, with his ingenious mind, crafted wings made of feathers and wax. Oh, what a sight it must have been! Father and son, defying gravity, dancing amidst the clouds like gods themselves. Daedalus warned Icarus not to fly too close to the sun or too close to the sea. But Icarus, overcome with the joy of flight, went too close to the sun. Oh, the tragedy! The wax that held his wings together began to melt under the scorching sun, and poor Icarus fell from the heavens like a shooting star. And Daedalus said, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Fuck! The one thing I told you not to do, and you fucking did it! You stupid fucking bastard!" And Icarus said, "I'm sorry!" He fell into the ocean below, sank to the bottom, and drowned. Daedalus wept for his son and called the nearest island Icara in the memory of his son. We're finished with Greece. Let's head over to Italy. Roughly in the 1480s, a man tinkering in his workshop designs a flying machine. His name was Leonardo da Vinci. He made a few designs, however, he never actually built any of them. Good thing too, because even if he did, he would find out it wouldn't even lift off the ground. Let's fast forward a bit more. Much better. Gaze upon the two men that changed aviation history. Their names were Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. 1896 brought three important aeronautical events. In May of that year, Samuel Lumley successfully flew an unmanned, steam-powered, fixed-winged model aircraft. Also, in the middle of that year, Chicago engineer and aviation authority Octave Chanter brought together several men who tested various types of glider over the sand dunes along the shore of Lake Michigan. Unfortunately, in August, Lilienthal was killed in the plunge of his glider. Lilienthal was a very influential person in the aeronautical sphere. These events lodged in the minds of the brothers, especially Lilienthal's death. The Wright brothers later cited his death as the point when their serious interest in flight research began. Wilbur said Lilienthal was without question the greatest of the precursors, and the world owes to him a great debt. In May of 1899, Wilbur wrote a letter to the Smithsonian Institute requesting information and publications about aeronautics. Drawing on the work of Sir George K. Clay, Chanter, and Lilienthal, and Leonardo da Vinci, and Langley, they began their mechanical aeronautical experiments that year. What a beautiful invention. I hope it doesn't get used in some massive war soon. As early as 1912, designers at the British firm Vickers were experimenting with machine gun carrying aircraft. This pioneering fighter, like other planes in the Royal Air Force, they were a pusher type aircraft. They had the engine and propeller behind the pilot, facing backwards, rather than at the front of the aircraft. This provided an optimal machine gun position, from which the gun could be fired directly forward without an obstructing propeller. Unfortunately, this pusher design didn't outperform the standard tractor design, with the engine and propeller in the front of the aircraft. So, in World War I, there were two main warplane designs: the pusher for offense and the tractor for defense. But the best design would be the tractor with a forward-facing gun. This design came with a few complications and a few solutions. One was to reinforce the propeller and only fire for a few short bursts to limit the chance of hitting the propeller. However, the best design would come at the end of World War I, a synchronized machine gun. They started working on this design before the war, but the other countries weren't interested.
Fast forwarding a tiny bit more. It's World War II, shit's getting crazy now. New weapons, new countries, and most importantly, new planes. Introducing the most British, the most versatile, the plane my girlfriend wanted me to talk about. Drumroll please. Brrrr, the Spitfire. Designed as a short-ranged, high-performance interceptor aircraft, it came with the ingenious idea of putting the forward-facing guns on the wings, allowing for all the benefits of the sexy tractor design. Enough about the plane. I want to tell you about the legendary pilot that flew one, Douglas Bader. Douglas Bader was a very skilled pilot, but unfortunately for him, he lost both of his legs in a flying accident in 1931. Despite this setback, he was determined to continue flying, and he eventually persuaded the RAF to let him rejoin the service when the war broke out in 1939. During the Battle of Britain in 1940, Bader was assigned the 242nd Squadron. His aggressive flying style and leadership skills made him stand out among his peers. He quickly became known for his daring tactics and skilled aerial combat maneuvers. One notable incident occurred on August 9th, 1941, when Bader engaged in a dogfight with a group of German fighters over France. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Bader managed to shoot down two enemy aircraft before his Spitfire was hit by an enemy. With his aircraft badly damaged and one leg shattered, Bader was forced to bail out over German-occupied territory. He was captured by the Germans and became a prisoner of war. Even in captivity, Bader's spirit remained unbroken. He made several escape attempts and became a thorn in the side of his captors. His inspirational story and defiance against adversity became widely known, boosting morale both among his fellow prisoners and back home in Britain. Bader was eventually liberated by Allied forces in April of 1945, just weeks before the end of the war in Europe. Despite his disability, he continued to fly and remained active in various capacities until his death in 1982.
Finished. That's the end of the video. Just a quick update. Sorry it took longer than expected. I've got stuff going on in my life right now, so yeah, it had to be done. Also, I'm gonna scrap the whole weekly videos thing. Too long. I'm gonna do the exact same thing that Internet Historian does. Go silent for a while, and then stealth drop a video. Okay, what else do I need to cover? Okay, Tower of Lies.
releasing in October. I've made a decision because I'm not happy with it at its current state, and I want it to be pretty good for my subscribers. You know, I don't want to just kind of shovel shit your way. You know what I mean? Right. Last thing. Okay. To pad the runtime of this video, I am going to do a couple of impressions for you. Okay.
There was a big sea monster! Or how that means family.